Today, Mike Pompeo and David Friedman visited the home of the commando who was murdered by our enemies, Rachmana litzlan. And the UN and Tlaib and all the others don't mention anything anytime we get killed. But of course they celebrate silently, maybe not so silently. And we have to suffer when, unfortunately, tragedy strikes when we're doing a military operation. But Israel constantly is faced with this double standard of, well, if we go into and have a military operation to stop terrorism, we get accused if someone innocent gets hurt. But when they come and kill our innocents, there's not a word. The world is silent, the UN is silent, and we have to suffer in our silence. But we're not silent. We're not a silent people. People accuse us of being a silent people. We were never a silent people. Unfortunately, we had to deal with the slings and arrows of really outrageous fortune all these thousands of years. And we've had to deal with them, and we had to deal with them in different ways. Now we're ready to fight back, and nobody will ever take us on lightly anymore. That is the point. We will be strong forever and ever and ever. People like Danny Danon, who carry the weight on their shoulders of our people day in and day out. I must tell you that I'm not supposed to get political, but I have suffered with everyone in this room for the past whatever number of months it has been since the government was put into motion in a very midnight hour fashion and in a way that none of us agreed with. And it is a sad tale, and unfortunately, it's a sad tale. You know, it's another one of our missteps in our history. But we always correct our missteps. You know, we eventually get into the promised land. We eventually get there. It may take a little effort, and we make mistakes, and we go through these periods where we're weak, and we're not presenting ourselves the way we should. Great kings of Israel were not always great, even though they were chosen to be great. And it's not easy to be a king of Israel or a Knesset member or an ambassador, as you were, and hopefully you'll be a lot larger someday. You've seen it all. American Jewry obviously is very important to the state of Israel. It's not just military aid that is important. American Jewry is, for some reason, still very much here and strong. You heard it from Bruce Blakeman. And the Israelis have to realize, as former generations of Israeli leaders did, I don't think they realize it anymore, you do, but they have to realize that the American Jewish population, you heard about Nassau County, they get no exposure at all. And yet they're one of the strongest, most vibrant communities in America. I mean, there's just a lot that can be done. And obviously we all want to live in Israel. Obviously we all want to make Aliyah, and that is the ultimate goal. But for whatever the reasons are, and you know, God puts us where we are, for whatever reasons, and there are a lot of reasons. And I don't think we're going to be in America forever. I think that there's a expiration date. But, you know, for now, we have to fight the forces Farley mentioned, Tlaib and Ilan and AOC and all the others that are just ganging up around them. You know, those are the forces that are going to drive us out of this land, this beautiful land. And those are the forces that are going to cause the most trouble to Israel. And right now, American Jewry really is more important to Israel than at any other time, I think, because of these forces that are starting to rise up. And we're getting it from not only the left, we're getting it from the right as well. But right now the left is the main problem. I agree to Aliyah is number one, but we're still here. While we're here, we have to be given the attention that I don't think we're getting. You heard it from Mike. You heard it from Bruce Blakeman himself. Nassau County could give you such chizuk. It's not funny. We have to utilize that county to do more. for Israel, to fight Tlaib, to fight AOC, to fight Ilhan Omar. That's how you have to do it. And of course, get leaders in our government here that are, of course, more pro-Israel, more pro-Judea and Samaria, and more just pro-Jewish in general.